So here is the first question. A shopkeeper sell two types of article A and B, costing in ratio 3 is to 4. If we mark price A by 100% and B by 75% and give a discount of 20% on A and 30% on B, he still makes 324 rupees profit. So we have to find the cost price of A. So for having a simple calculation, let's assume the value of A as 30x and B as 40x. So after rising their prices by 100% of A, we get 60x as the price of mark price of A, and 70x as after making 75% marked, we have 70x as the price of B. So after giving this discount of 20% on A, we have 48x as a selling price, and after 30% on discount on B, we have 49x as a selling price of article B. So our but the cost price of A was 30x. So after minus cost of A, we get 18x as a profit on A, and after minusing cost price of B, we get 9x as a profit on B. So total of 27x is as a profit. So we have given in the question that value of the this 27x is 324. So from here we get the value of x as 12. So the cost price of A was 30x. So if we put the value of x in the equation, we get the cost price of A as 360. So this is our answer. Second question. In a class of 30 boys and X number of girls, 70% of boys pass the exam. Only 6 girls, 49 students passed the exam, 600 combined, and the girls who failed the scored 1440 combined. What will be the average of all the girls? Okay, so in this question, total number of boys and 70% of them has passed. So 21 boys has passed the exam and 9 of them has failed. So the total number of failed students was 39. So if 9 boys has failed the exam, so it means 30 girls has failed the exam. So the total number of girls who failed the exam was 40%. So if 30 is 40% of a number, so the total number of girls will be 75. So if the 45 of the girls has passed and their average score was 45 girls has passed and the total score was 3600, and the girls who failed was for 30 and their score was 1440. So if we add the 1440 and 3600, we get 5440 and total number of 75 girls. So if we divide it by each girl, so we get 67.2% as our answer. This is the third question. A solution A contains milk and water in ratio 6 to 9, and the solution B contains milk and water in the ratio of 1 to 3. If both A and B are mixed in the ratio of 5 to 4 and making up to 540 liters, how many more liters of milk to be added to make it 50% milk concentration? So here is the ratio of milk and water in A and ratio of milk and water in B. So first we have to balance this equation. So for balancing, we can take LCM of the total number of the units given here. So it's 60. So A becomes 24, 36 and B becomes 15 and 45. So we have to mix it in a ratio of 5:4. So we multiply milk in A as 24 into 5 and 36 into 5 in A, and this is in B. So after multiplying this, we get 180 liters of milk and 360 liters of water. So it makes up to 540 liters. So after that, if we have to make it 50-50, like we have to make 50% of milk concentration, so here is 360 of water, so milk should also be 360. So if we add 180 liters of milk, then it will also make to 360, which is equal to water. So our required answer is 180. Here is the one question. A, B, C is equals to 10, whereas A, B, C are distinct positive integer. Then what could be the average of minimum and maximum value of A plus 2B plus 3C? Okay, so for finding that, in the first, if we want to maximize the value of A plus 2B plus 3C, so we have to maximize the value of C. So if we minimize, so for maximizing the value of C, we have to minimize the value of A and B. So if we give A as 1 and B as 2, because we are giving B as 2 because of the variable before A B was higher, so we are giving B 2 and C remaining 7. So after solving this, putting this in equation, we get 26 as our maximum value. If we want to, then we have to minimize the value of a plus 2b plus 3c. So we have to give maximize the value of a first. So if and minimize the value of c. So if we minimize the value of c, we get, if we put 1 in c and 2 in b and 7 in a, we get the minimum value of 14. So 26 plus 14 is equals to 40, and divided by 2 to find average is 20. 20 is our required answer. Question: a right angle triangle whose perimeter is 120 are in ratio 3, 4, 5. A circle is inscribed in it touching all the sides of the triangle. What would be the area of the largest square that can be inscribed into the circle? So if the perimeter is 120 and all side ratio are given to us, so we can easily find the value of each side. So after finding that, we get to know that value of each side is 30, 40 and 50. So if we draw a triangle 30, 40 and 50, if we inscribe a circle, so to finding a circle that is inscribed into a rectangle triangle, we have a formula. So we have to add to both the base and height of so to find the diameter of the circle, we have to add base and perpendicular minus the hypotenuse. So we get 20 as a diameter of the circle. So if the 20 is the diameter of a circle, if we draw a square that is the largest in a circle, we get to know that the diagonal of the square will be equal to the diameter of the circle, sorry, of the with the diameter of the circle, yeah. So from this we get to know that the diagonal of the square is 20, then it could be divided by root 2 to get the east side. So if we find east side of a square as 10 root 2, so we have to just multiply it by 2 times. So we got to know that 200 is our answer. If 4x plus 7y is equals to 263 and x and y are positive integer, find the total number of pairs that satisfy the equation. So if 4x plus 7y given as 263, where x and y are positive integer, so if we minimize first, starting with the value of y as minimum 1. So if we put value of y as 1, we'll get x is equals to 64. In the LCM of the 4 and 7 are 28. So you can find LCM. So every time when the value of y moves by 4, and the value of x will move by 7. So if y is equals to 1, x will be 64. If y will be y will be equals to 5, x is equal to 57. So if we do it later on, so we got to know that at last y will be 37, where x at that x will be 1. So if we count all this, we got to know that total 10 pairs will be satisfied this.